Hi, everybody. I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit me on the Cash App. Hit me on the Cash App to donate acrylic paint, masking tape, and paint brushes. It's going for a worthy cause. All right. This one is called the infamous Soul to Soul Run. Okay. Look, I started running when I was maybe teenager, maybe 13 years old, 14. Well, when I got 15, I I got on the track team, on the track and field team. And I set out to run until I get a medal. Till I get a medal. Okay? So, I ran every day and I tried to build my speed up, build my speed up, build it up. So when it came time to run, I went out there, we got on the line, and I was running. Oh, and I came in fourth place. So therefore, it was no medal for me. The medal was only for first, second, and third place. So I said, I'm going to place on the next one. The next one was a 100-yard dash. Okay. So we get out there. It was about 20 of us out there. And they said, on your mark, get set. And I'm talking about I gave it all I had. I gave it all I had. Fourth place. Fourth place again. Man. Excuse me. I was discouraged. So the last time that we ran, I said, I'm going to place this time. I told everyone I was going to place, you know. We got out there and I was nervous. I was real nervous because I couldn't mess this one up. I couldn't mess it up. They said, on your mark, get set. Let's go. I was gone. And I almost got third place, but I got fourth place again. And I lost it. I really lost it. I went off out there, kicking stuff over and everything like that. So my Coach Fiolik, man, I wonder if he's still around or something. Coach Fiolik, he told me, he said, James, get over here now. And I came over there and I was mad, man. I was fuming, you know. And he said, stop that. Stop. You look like an idiot out here. You're making an idiot out of yourself. Look, maybe this ain't the one for you. But when we was practicing, I saw you had maximum endurance. You got superb endurance. So I said, man, he said, listen, why don't you go to cross country? Go to cross country and leave this alone. You probably won't never get a medal. So when he said that, I thought about it for a while, and then I went to cross country. So when I got in cross country, I was like 16, 15 then. 15. I got in cross country. And the first day that I ran cross country, we ran for 5 miles. Number one. I got number one. And I was like, man, what is this? Wow. I never knew it was this easy. So I started training for stamina and endurance. Total stamina and endurance. So I start running for that. Start running miles and miles, you know. So the next one was going to be 10 miles. 10 miles. So it was like 20 of us. 20 of us out there. And they said, go. And we start running. And that's when I learned how to pace myself. Pace. So I was just running. And I stayed close behind the people that was in front. I just stayed on them. And then I got my second win, which I didn't know I had a second win. You know, because at first, when you first start off, you be breathing hard and everything. But after that first mile, that first half mile, it kicked in. And it kicked in and my breathing became easy. It was just like I just started running. So I was pacing them. So then when we got right around to that 9th mile, that's when I opened up. And we was running. And there's this dude from Kenya. He was an African. He was built for running. He was tall. He was slender. He was built for running. And he was out front. So I got up on him. I got close behind him, close on him. And I guess he thought he won. I guess he thought he was winning. Because he started raising his hands up. You know. And that's when I poured it on. And I went past him. And he was shocked. And he tried. And it was a battle too, boy. And I came in first again. And everybody gave me big ups. And because they was going to my school. This was different high schools ran against each other. My high school, I took it home for my high school. And man, oh my goodness. So that's what started everything. So after that, I started, just hanging out with the fellas and stuff. Like most teenagers do. Start hanging out and stuff like that. And I stopped running. Started smoking, and stuff like that. So then my desire for running was gone. Until I stopped smoking. And I stopped smoking and stuff. And then I started back running again, which was terrible. When I started back running, it was terrible. But gradually, I got right back up to where I was, So now I'm running 5-10 miles and stuff. It was nothing, So I wanted to get in the marathon, but it was always something blocking. Something always would happen and I couldn't go, It's crazy. So then I moved to Memphis. When I moved to Memphis, I started running. We had a trail near my house, It was near my house. It was very close to my house. Matter of fact, it was across the street, which I started running on every day. Running. This trail was the Green Line. So it was 3.4 miles there and back. So I would run that every day. Then I set out to go further. So I went on the river and ran the whole river. Ran across. And then there was an event called the Soul to soul run. Okay. Now, this was just after the death of my mother. Okay. This was just after the death of my mother. Now, my mom played a part in this too, because every time I would run, I would tell her how many minutes I was going to make it through. So if it was a run, if it was a real long run, I'd tell her, Mama, I'm going to make it like in an hour, or something. If it's like a marathon or something. So my mom wasn't there, and I couldn't, something in me, I couldn't call her to tell her how many minutes it took me to run this and stuff like that. But I got ready to run it anyway. So I really trained for this run because I was planning on doing it the way I did when I was a teenager. So I was going to run it in 25 minutes, 25 minutes. And that's just the 5K. Okay. I wanted to run it in 25 minutes, So I got my endurance back up like it was. And I felt like I did when I was young, especially through my lungs and stuff. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this now. So we got in the lineup, but this was a lot of people. So it was like about 40 people, 40 runners out there. So we got up there, we stand, and then I looked over, and my best friend, Rifleman, was over on the side. He said, go, gang, go, go, go. And that really gave me the incentive to get out there and do my best. Okay? So they said, go. And then I started running. But this was on concrete. That's a drawback right there. And I forgot to tell y'all, before the Soul to Soul run was another one. This was the Memphis Food Bank run. So for every mile, you feed 50 people. You see? So people donated for every mile you run, they'll feed 50 people. So during that run, unfortunately, I pulled a hamstring. I pulled a bad hamstring to the point where I couldn't run for like 4 days, maybe a week. Couldn't run. And after that, I still couldn't run because every time I would take a long stride, it would pull, and it was excruciating pain. So I started back training after a week, of laying up, I started back training for the Soul to Soul run. So we was out there and we started running. And I paced myself. I was pacing myself. And I was thinking, okay, so I've got to pace myself, and I got to keep checking my leg, see if this hamstring is pulling again. So I was thinking about it, but it wasn't nothing. So after the first mile, when we get out of here, fly. When we was going around the corner, around the bend, that's when I felt it tweak a little bit. Tweak. I said, oh, uh-oh. I said, oh, man. I said, 2 more miles to go. Let's go. We're running. Then bam! Then my tire blew out. After that, my leg blew out, man, completely. But I kept running. I just ignored the pain and kept going, So I'm and I'm like limp running. Like Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run. Run, Forrest. And I'm like limping. I'm like galloping, sort of like. So I just kept going, kept going. I hit that fly. Hey, yeah, yeah. I kept galloping, 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 and then we was 1 more mile to go. It was really hurting me then. It was really hurting. It was like it was something trying to stop me from making that time. So when I went around the corner, when I was coming around the corner, I could see the sign way back there, and it had like 20 20 minutes, 20 minutes on the clock. So I said, "Oh my God, I got to make it before 25." So I poured it on fast before that. Before that, like before a half a mile to go, I did it a mile to go. So that's one drawback I shouldn't have done. I should have waited till I got to that half mile mark and then poured it on. But I poured it on at the mile. So I was galloping, galloping, galloping. And I'm telling you, I was galloping. And oh my God, I can see the finish line. I can almost reach out for the finish line. And then I saw it, the clock struck 30. And while I was running, I start crying, actually. Actually, I started crying before I got there. So I was, and I crossed the finish line at 31. 31 minutes. But I shouldn't feel bad because I was in my late 40s then. Okay? I was 40 something years old. And I beat all the younger people. You know? Me and this other guy and another guy and a lady, actually. We kind of come around the same time, you know. Man, I was like, I started bawling, man. I was going crazy out there. Just like I did earlier on when I tried to run the 100-yard dash. I just went crazy. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to me, but actually, I think it was a combination of my mother dying and stuff like that. I'm gonna get this fly. It's another one. There you go. Yeah, it was a combination of my mother dying and stuff like that. And you know, and I really didn't grieve that much when my mother died. So, and then I was trying to dedicate that run to my mother. So I was going to make the 25 marker, and then I wasn't going to try for it anymore. You know, I wasn't going to try for it anymore. But once I got to 25, I was just going to just bow out gracefully. But I didn't make it. I didn't make it. And I tell you, that was a bad feeling because I was doing it for my mother, you know. But thanks to this guy, I forget his name though, but this guy, he stopped me. He said, "Man, what's wrong with you, man?" I said, "Man, I didn't make the 25. I didn't make the 25." He said, "Man, don't be upset about that, man." He said, "How old are you?" And I said, 48. 48. He said, "You 48? Man, you look, you beat all those younger people. Okay? You beat all the younger people. You didn't see that, did you?" I said, "No, no." He said, "Man, look, You should be proud, man. You should be proud you got it in 31 minutes. Because the average runner does it in 31 minutes. You got to look at you not 13 no more. You're not 14 anymore. Don't you understand that? I said, well. He said, man, you should be proud, man. Hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. You did good. And I thought about it. I said, well, maybe I did do okay, you know. So I thought about it. I said, well, probably my mother would be proud of me. She probably would be proud of me if she was here right now. So I took it with a grain of salt. And I just dealt with it, you know. But, you know, if it wasn't for that hamstring, if I hadn't pulled that hamstring, I guarantee you I would have made it in 25 minutes or 20 something. Maybe I would have made it in 20, 27 or 28. But I would have got in the 20 zone. Okay. Well, that goes for everybody. Everybody, look, if when you was younger, you used to do stuff a little quicker than you do now. You know? But the thing is, you got to do it. You got to do it. You know? Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So you may be older now. You can't recapture when you were young. You can't recapture that. Oh, you can have memories of it. You can have pictures and everything like that, and you can remember your time when you was young. But it's a lot of stuff that you can't do no more. And I got a grip with reality that day. That day. To try. Now, if you can try to make it in a certain time, but if you don't make it, so what? Look, you got out there and you ran. That's more than what most people your age do. Most people your age is sitting up there like this. Clicking it. Got the remote control in their hand. Hey, you got any more of those chips? Got any more cheese doodles? Yeah, man. Slouching down and everything. So, just don't put yourself down. Just be happy for what you accomplished. Okay? If you didn't do nothing but walk around the block, be happy because you're doing more than most people do. Most people, they go to work, maybe sit down, take a pen. Okay, yeah. They call that exercise. That's not exercise. Then when they get off, they back to this. You know, drinking beer and stuff. So, that's what I got to tell you. You're young at heart. Okay? And you're never too old to accomplish something. Never too old. Never too old. Like there was a guy that ran with me and he was like 70, 78 years old or something like that. And he made the whole course. He ran the whole thing. He didn't win, you know, but the object of it was to run it, to finish. It wasn't about competing against each other. But, you know, a couple of us, you know, had tried to compete against each other, but the whole object of it is to make it. I don't care if you're in last place. Long as you didn't stop, long as you kept going, you was good. Yeah. And I ran 22 miles before. 22. But I never do that again. I never do that again. That's extremely too far. You know what? A human beings are not meant to push themselves that far, you know. Unless you have to, it's different. But it's something in you. I guess it's a competitiveness or the a feeling of I've got to make it, regardless of the pain and everything. When people usually run 22 miles, a lot of people are debilitated for a couple of days. Because I was debilitated for maybe 3 days, but I came back, but 3 days. But well, that's it, y'all. That's just my message there. Never give up. Never stop trying, you know. Even if you don't reach your goal, you don't set a goal that you trying to reach. The thing is, you did it. Okay? All right. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos to everyone so that everyone can get this experience, okay? All right. Peace. Adios. Salamat.
Oh my God.